Buenos dias. Please support your local food bank, drug and alcohol center. Please join me in prayer for everyone that is being affected by this sex scandal at IHOP. First of all, for the women, the advocates standing up to the religious leaders of our time. And we're going to look at this Jane Doe testimony. This just came out, and this is the email that came out October 9th. And to bring you up to speed, this is my website, and I have set up a way. I've been documenting this. I've taken this personally, and IHOP resignations. If you click that, I've been following. These are the protesters that are seeking a third party. And if you haven't signed up, well, here's a quick recap. These men and Stephen Strang, many people in the charismatic community are saying that Absalom's an evil spirit is trying to destroy IHOP. This is a nothing burger. Stephen Strang is a spokesman for the current ELT, He's spinning the narrative that there's disgruntled leaders wanting assets, donations, and property, and that unless something else comes forward, they're not even going to spend the money on a proper investigation. And there's an insider that is using Charisma Magazine to spin their narrative. Now, this just came out, and this young lady, Mike Bickle, used prophecy for sexually abusing her. Now, I struggle with reading out loud. I'm very good at reading the Bible. But this is a humongous article. It's like almost a book. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link in the description. All the way, if you can like my video, if you click the like button, more people get to see my videos. But I want to start it off here. Trauma Unearthed. Because the young lady gives her testimony and the full history of what's going on at IHOP and Mike Bickle. We have the testimony now. All right? And to continue with the update, these men are secular media and Christian media are reporting that they're disgruntled. All right? They're losing the social media narrative. But I believe they have the truth on their side. I accepted their testimonies. Well, I put on my web. I've taken it personal. And let's start here. Special attention. Trauma Unearthed. All right, so like I said, this just came out. I'll leave a link in there. You just click. And I'm also going to put it on my website. You can click it on my website. And then I got to get to the street. I'm super late today. I just put out my newsletter this morning. Usually I'm on the street by 6 a.m. It's like 9. In March of 2020, we're going to say D said to her listening. Okay, so this is D, the victim, all right? Jane Doe. Testimony used Mike used prophecy to sexually abuse me. D said she was listening to a podcast about Bill Cosby alleged abuse and saw herself in that situation. I fell to the floor and began to wail, she said. That was a moment of trauma unearthed. In May, Doe finally talked about it for the first time. First telling her husband also confirmed this with TR. 4 days later, a friend of hers asked her question about the blue. Did Mike ever do anything physical to you? I literally started to cry and shake, and I was sharing with her my story. Dee said that when she said, there's a current woman. All right, the truth is coming out. I literally literally started to cry and shake, and I just shared with her my story. Dee said that when she said, there's a current woman. And that's when Dee said she knew she had to do something. Neither Dee nor her husband had confidence in IHOP's leadership or accountability struggle. I've been looking at it this morning. Where's the Facebook? We'll check it. We'll do live time. This is my whole screen so you can see it. I've been monitoring this morning because they're going to come out with a statement to refute the testimony of these men and the latest article. so we don't know what they're going to say, but they have somebody behind the scenes. They haven't posted yet, but I believe they're going to put out another report. And all right, D is so credible. Her fruit, the fullness of her life and faithfulness that I've seen her walk in for years, 20 years. Hood said, this is Alan Hood, all right, that to me it couldn't be denied, and yet, to be honest, I didn't want to believe it. We just wept, and I said, I'm with you, D. I'm here. I'm standing with you, and we'll walk this out together. Sorry, I've been following this I've taken it personally. All right? I am a survivor of sexual abuse. I grew up on the streets, and I've taken this personally, obviously. I can see God working right now. We have men trying to cover, all right, the current IHOP leadership. They're fighting for their jobs. Do we have a picture of them? These guys, they're fighting for their jobs, misinformation, half-truths. They're spinning their yarns and narratives on social media. And then you have these men, the heroes. They're going up against one of the most powerful religious movements in the charismatic community. It's global. This is a major, humongous fight. And I don't run from fights. I run into them, all right? I'm the kind of guy you want on your side in a fight. You know, it's kind of like, no, I don't, if there's a lot of terminology of David and Goliath, so I'm not going to use that, but all right. We know can you see that? All right, there it is, even better. By August, Doe and her husband also reached out to former IHOP leader Dwayne Roberts, his wife, Jennifer Roberts, and Sullivan. Both Dwayne Roberts and Sullivan told TR, oh, look at this, TR, we've known her to be a person of an integrity and character. That's interesting. Roberts says, it's not in her nature to come up with anything remotely close to gain something. Dee will always tell the truth, and Mike will always tell his own story. Wait a second. Oh, sorry, that's Dwayne Roberts. All right, so forgive me. For a second there, I thought we were talking about the current ELT. Roberts, who was part of the IHOP since its earliest day, told TR that he didn't know about Bickle's secret meetings with women in the 20s and the late 90s. But he said Bickle didn't hold similar discipline groups men. Roberts said Bickle commonly had young women who were 20 years younger than him around him at IHOP. Both Roberts and Hood told TR that Bickle had internal deadbolts in his office. Sullivan said Dee's story remained with him to 2015 conversation he and his wife had with the woman who had been close to Bickle when he pastored. He told us that was the line that he used, that Diane was going to die. So that's his current wife. I had a notification. And they would be together. So when Dee told us that, I was like, oh my gosh, I've heard that before. The woman to whom Sullivan was referring spoke to TR. She confirmed that Bickle, when married and serving as a pastor in her church in KC around 1983-84, had connected emotionally with her. She said that she didn't consider herself a victim of Bickle's, but she said Bickle communicated to her a prophecy that someday his wife Dee would die in an earthquake, and Bickle and this woman would be together. All right. Seeking accountability from IHOP. I might as well put this in here too. So I'm checking the updates for what they're going to come up with next. But Dean Briggs just put this out, I think yesterday. 5 weeks. Now, if you don't know who Dean Briggs is, I've done actually lots of videos, and Dean Briggs is the one that said self-righteous bullcrap. all the way down. And he's also saying that, where did I do this? I did a video here. She was 19. What else don't we know? Where's Dean? This video here. Denial, obfuscation, and attempts to hinder. The only reason anything is happening at IHOP, according to Mr. Dean Briggs, is the public pressure. So like the video, share it out. Sign the petition. And you go to my website. Sign the petition. Get involved. Share out the petition. I think all my friends have signed it now. This is IHOP stories. Sorry. And petition. 3,478 signatures. Many of my friends, actually I had one friend I don't even know what they asked for a donation. I don't even know where the money's spent. So support your local food bank, drug and alcohol center. But one of my friends gave them money. All right. And these guys, all right. Robert said that phrase became key throughout August and September. Then he talked with Dee and the former IHOP staffers who noticed red flags. Bickle's behavior through the years. That's when the golden thread we pulled, oh boy, the golden thread. We pulled out and things begin to come to surface. Robert, that's Dwayne Roberts. That phrase has been tied to stories in 3 different decades. I'm 150% positive that Mike has said that to other women. So on the word of the testimony of Mr. D, this guy, all right, this guy, Dwayne Roberts. I'm 100% positive Mike has said that to other women. Roberts said he met in person with IHOP ELT Stewart September 30th. Sorry, I'm using my smartphone. Some allegations have been made about Bickle, but didn't go into specifics. Roberts said he told Greaves he intended to meet with Bickle and asked Greaves to be a witness. I just sent out my news. I send out a newsletter once a month, and I got people contacting me, and that's why I'm so late for the street today. However, Roberts said Greaves refused, saying Roberts needed to contact. Let me say that again here. What's going on here? Stuart Greaves said on September 30th, I told some allegations to be made about Bickle, but he didn't go into specific. Roberts said he told Greaves he intended to meet with Bickle and asked Greaves to be a witness. That's interesting. It's part of their testimonies. All right. He's like, listen up. This is the Stuart Greaves guy, right? This guy. He says, all right, come with me. This guy. Sorry. I'll close that up. And this guy. Let's go talk to the conversation with Bickle and initially confront Bickle one-on-one. On October 2, Roberts met with Greaves again, telling Greaves he had invited 2 other pastors who had strong ties to Bickle. The exchange turned heated, Roberts said, because Greaves didn't want to get involved anyone outside of IHOP. Dee's husband, who TR is keeping anonymous to protect Dee's identity, emailed Bickle. So that's the email there. We have one more to go. Meet me the day something's personal. Dee, she declined to be part of the meeting because she didn't think it was appropriate for victims to meet directly to her abuser. Robert planned to attend the meeting too, but when Bickle found out, Bickle insisted Doe's husband and he meet alone, the emails show. Dee's husband told TR that Bickle denied the allegations when they met and said Dee had misunderstood his prophecy. Bickle said God wanted Dee and Bickle to work together in ministry after Diana died, not in marriage. All right, so that's Mike's side of the story. Dee's husband said, get to the truth. Who's telling the truth? According to Mike, he's got a different story. He said, I always just assumed that Dee was so pure, so she would never take any of these things romantically. Dee's husband said. Bickle followed up that night with an email. Now this is interesting because this forwarded October 9th. This is my last email. I've been in and out of meetings since I left you at 10 a.m. today. So that right after their meeting, they had this is email. I am sorry, I'm not clear-minded right now and I'm exhausted, but I'm still swirling and hurling. I just wanted to clarify that when I wrote in my last email some hours ago saying my most painful day, I did not mean painful because of her conversations with you. I am okay with you in the conversation. I trust you in all your ways. I did not even mean because other including me. Would I be grateful if blah, blah, blah. However, I cannot imagine the relational anguish and confusion it would be caused in the multi-level long-term sovereign relationship with IHOP. What is painful is though others being told a certain narrative that is not the narrative I believe God has and will pass it on. You will constitute the greatest betrayal of my life. All right. From one of my dearest friends, and I have trusted 100%, would be far worse betrayal than Ernie Gruen did to me in 1990. I realize she has not betrayed me at this point, so forgive me for using such ugly language as betrayal, but even the chance of her doing this creates great pain in me. So Mike's upset, meets with the husband, and sends him this email. The most trusted friend did to me at the end of my life after 40 years of being in prayer meetings, after hours a day, 6 days a week. I told you about the prophetic dream 2 years ago. Okay, you can click it and read this, but he does go on to the black horse of accusation. I went into the east. In 2023, the Lord made it 100% clear I was going to the east, 5 million praying for Israel. I am not saying that Satan's rage is coming through you to talk to you, but the hot fire of this demonic breath will come. Could you imagine? He just had a meeting with Mike, and this is what Mike sends him. Will come to the minds of some who will be energized to the sort, even the hearing the people quoting, and then Satan will energize them to pass into the multitudes via social media. If this escalates, I'm sure many will conclude Satan's rage was coming through D, but that is not my view. But I would never say anything negative about D, but only words of blessing on her, and I would do the same even for those who share and distort her narrative. Satan's rage accusation is impossible to control because he is a supernatural ability to accuse by inflaming distortion and anger in the midst of people, even good people. I plead with you and the two of my most dear long friend, trusted friends, to ask the Spirit to show his narrative of my life and what he's seeing and saying about me, and ask him to give peace or whatever. I'm sure he will. If you miss him, that would be the worst decision of our life. Forgive me. I include me in the statement. I have seen, he sees, you only say, all right. If by chance, I thought he talked about the black horse. There it is, the black horse. She has whispered his story. All right, here it is. If by chance she has whispered her story to any others, the evil result that the enemy wants is that can still avoid if she only speaks his narrative to any other who might ask her about this future by simply saying only what the Spirit told her. It might be something like, I have peace that the Lord is blah blah blah. That sort of approach would cut off the black horse, inflaming distortions and exaggerations and many false narratives in people's minds. So the black horse of accusation, demonic accusation to take down, all right, I have not sworn before God to any other person more than 2 or 3 times in 50 years, but I will do this one time only for you. Before God, I assure you there is not of one of these name ladies that I told that God showed me Diane would die so that I would blah, blah, blah with them. I cannot even type something so horrible as this. If you will insist that these ladies come to me, even to just email me, if you do not talk to me in person, let me respond. I'm very confident that I will not get even one email. This is inconceivable to me that someone said that about me. The implications for me to have said that would be a horrible act of evil. It is just terrible injustice to my relationship with you, right? A third-party investigation, sit down and tell his side of the story. Get to the truth. The narrative of the unnamed ladies to be inserted into the conversation when they have never told me this and never will. Our relationship is far valuable and sovereign to let unnamed voices insert horrible things in our relationship. Matthew 18 requires that they come to me to win me and repent of sin that I am contributing to. I asked you, what is the redemptive take away sin? And said, I repent. Oh boy, this is a long letter. All right, there it is there. I got to get to the street. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job. So what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description for the article and Mike's email. I didn't realize it was that long. It's like, how many pages is that? All right. Bickle followed up that with an email. All right. Oh, this is interesting. I haven't read this yet. Doe's husband emailed Bickle. Just reaching out to confirm you received my email response. Brian, Kim, and Wes Martin are coming in tomorrow. We would like to meet with you at 2 p.m. if that's part of their testimony. They did everything they could to go directly to Mike Bickle. All right. They didn't have to come to this. They got some guy like me on YouTube, all right, doing videos. They have all this information out. If Mike Bickle would have just handled this appropriately, and if the IHOPKC leadership would have, this could all have been done appropriately. They could have been healing for the victims, victim care, and October 29th, Doe's husband emailed a request for a meeting. The time include former IHOP leader Brian Kim and Wes Martin, the former pastor IHOP. But Bickle reportedly refused, saying Bickle's is under Greaves' accountability. Oh, that's interesting. Saying Mike Bickle is under Greaves' accountability and that Greaves had advised Bickle to meet only with Dee's husband and not with the group. That's interesting as well. I'm still waiting on the ladies who allegedly have a story to come to me, Stuart, according to Matthew 18, Bickle wrote. I'm very sure none will come because they have the real... I'm waiting for the ladies who allegedly have a story to come to me, and Stuart, according to Matthew. Bickle wrote, I'm very sure none will come because they do have a real story. October 24th, IHOP executive leaderships, including David Sliker, Greaves, Sorge, and Leonard LaGuardia, met to hear Dee's husband share Dee's allegations. Roberts said Brian Kim, Wes Martin, Roberts also attended the meeting. Roberts said he had written a 50-page document, a timeline with suspicion concerning Bickle and several women. He added that the report had no names, only a couple initials and some unnamed references. Roberts said he referenced the document in the meeting but did not give it to the leaders. All right. October 25th, Roberts gave the 50-page document to Greaves and talked with him a few allegations, victims he identified by name. Roberts he urged IHOP leaders to issue a bold and transparent statement about the allegations. But on October 27, IHOP announced that they were allegations against Bickle, but declined to comment on the nature of the allegations. Roberts said IHOP staff were threatened to resign. That's interesting. Robert, Kim, and Martin released a statement with details of the allegations. Bickle, that was on 28th. So what this is doing is demonstrating a long history before October 28th. All right? Like all these emails and everything came out way before that, October 9th. They released a statement that details the allegations of Bickle. Staff, hoping more information would stabilize, released a statement with details about the allegations against Bickle and IHOP staff, hoping more information would stabilize frustrated community. Greaves had publicly said IHOP leaders responded within 24 hours official notice of the allegation to meet Bickle to remove him from public ministry. A recent statement from the advocate refutes Greaves' claim. This is the response. I did a video about that. It's on my website. Greaves and the executive team did not respond to TR's repeated requests for comments, but Roberts said he believes IHOP leaders are good people who are caught in a system created by Bickle, who engages in masterminding storylines. They needed outside help and must demonstrate transparency, Roberts said. D said speaking out to the media was her last resort. D said speaking out to the media was her last resort. In spite of the fact that IHOP thoroughly knows my story, they have consistently minimized and denied their knowledge of the real evidence from the victims. She said, I am devastated that men and women who have been friends for 25 years have completely shunned me since they first made aware. I hope we could work together in the right thing. How I've been treated has broken my heart. Thank you for watching. Leave me a comment, like the video. And final thoughts is that, let's leave the final thoughts right here. D said, in spite of the fact IHOP thoroughly knew my story, they have consistently minimized and denied their knowledge of real evidence from the victims. Plural. She said, I am devastated that men and women who have been friends for 25, that's where it's at, is that all of these people are connected, all right? They all know each other for decades. And it's interesting here as well. I thought Dwayne Roberts said something interesting here. He said, Roberts said he believes IHOP leaders are good people who are caught in a system created by Bickle, who engages in masterminding storylines. Please join me in prayer for the truth to come forward. Thank you for watching. I'm headed to the street for my outreach. I'll leave a link in the description. Sorry for my stumbling over the words. I feel like I am going to the gym right now to work out. This is harder for me than a workout, reading out loud. But I am getting better. When I started doing videos 5 years ago, it was a lot harder, but I am getting better. So may the Lord bless you, keep you strong in the faith, and always remember, Brother John loves you. Bye.